we've all been there. As salon owners, I know that we can have a constant low-grade stress around stock, and we assume that that's just part of our role. It often feels safer to stay alert than to trust something structured. But let me ask you this, how many times have you been about to mix a colour and you realise you're out of a shade? Or you found yourself on a late night placing an order because you freaked out a bit when you looked at the colour shelves? I know most of us have probably done both. When it comes to stock as salon owners, we assume that that's all just part of our role. That tension, it isn't a flaw, but it also isn't a requirement of good salon management. Staying reactive, it'll keep you busy, but it won't keep you protected. Hey, welcome to the Business of Colour. I'm Janine and I help salon owners and colourists run a profitable salon colour business with practical systems, habits and tools that fit real salon life. And each week I help you break down one thing you can do to reduce waste, stabilise your colour inventory and grow a confident, consistent colour team. So let's dive into it, because today I'm tackling one of the biggest headaches salon owners deal with: panic ordering and running out of colour. You don't have to keep operating this way, you know. I'm going to explain how par level automation works and how it can transform your colour bar from chaos to being under control. Before we talk solutions, let's describe the problem. Panic ordering and running out, and both of them cost hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars every year. And here's the pattern that I see again and again and again. Tuesday rolls around. You're flat out behind the chair, you're fully booked, clients everywhere. You know you need to do an order, but you think, oh, I'll just deal with that later. By Wednesday, someone needs a shade that hasn't been used in weeks, and you know that. You check the shelf, it's a bit low, that tight feeling creeps in, you think, oh my gosh, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. And then by Friday, you've still got a whole lot of colour services booked across the team and across the salon, and most of your core shades are running low. So you make a rush purchase, and at a greater cost, because you can't afford to cancel your clients, or worse, deal with redos and a disgruntled team. Does that sound familiar? Do you know this isn't occasional bad luck, it's a cycle. And rush fees are one of the obvious ones. Emergency or next day delivery, it often adds a good 20 to 30%, and that money, it just doesn't come from anywhere, it comes straight off your bottom line. Then there's the over ordering, driven by last minute stress decisions, or more likely ordering too much of the wrong thing when you're at pace. What I mean by that is you spend your order budget on just in case shades and not enough on your core colours. Those colours, they just sit there while your others run out. The ones your team needs run out. Colour shortages, they can lead to cancelled appointments, and they often lead to redos. When you don't catch these problems early enough, your team, they have to think on the fly, and they have to make some ad hoc formulations, which can lead to redos. Fast forward to their clients cancelling their future appointments, leaving negative reviews, or worse, they move to another salon. And you know, reputation matters, and colour failures, they damage trust fast. And how about that mental load? Constantly worrying about colour inventory drains your energy. Instead of leading the business, you're stuck reacting to it. This is where data and par levels come in. Par level may sound technical, but the idea is actually very simple. And some of you may already even be doing it. Although I would beg the question, are you replacing your minimum level the minute you use 5 grams from a new tube of colour? Because we don't want to be doing that. A par level is just the minimum amount of any one colour that you want to keep on hand at any one time, so you don't run out. I know that putting numbers on stock can feel like a challenge, especially in a business where no 2 weeks look the same. I know a lot of salon owners worry that fixed numbers won't cope with the real life salon situation. But par levels don't lock you in, they give you a starting point instead of guessing from scratch. For example, if you use 3 tubes of a shade per week, let's say we use 6.0, and you want a buffer, you might set your par level at 4 or 5, and this will give you a buffer between those orders. Looking at usage this closely can sometimes feel daunting, and many of us avoid it because numbers confirm things we've suspected for a while. Namely, that we have far too many shades on our shelves that are going unused. Avoiding, it doesn't protect you from its impact. In fact, it compounds it. It's automation that's going to remove the manual work. Instead of manually checking your shelves, a good system, it'll track usage, and when stock hits your par level, it triggers a reorder. No panic, no late night ordering, no scrambling mid-service for that colour that's missing. The system keeps your colour steady. You hold more of what you actually need and less of what you don't. Visibility makes it easy to adapt, easy to learn usage patterns, and to adjust for seasons or trends. It scales as your business grows. Numbers and data means you're relying on information, not gut feeling. So let me break this down for you into how it works in real salons. First, the system needs visibility. Some salons use barcode scanning. Staff log the products as they use them. It's affordable and it works well with simple, basic habits. Tracking can feel uncomfortably close to policing, and I know you worry your teams will take that personally. But recording grams, it doesn't question skill. It removes guesswork. Avoiding tracking means everyone, including you, is relying on guesswork. Most salons start with barcode scanning because it's a practical middle ground. You can see current stock, what's approaching your par level, and your reorder history, and all of your costs in one place. When stock hits par level, the system steps in. Committing to a system, that can feel like hard work. Initially, there is always going to be some heavy lifting to get a system up and running. There can be fears associated with implementing a new system. What if I choose the wrong one, for example? Choosing a system isn't about perfection. It's a decision made to stop carrying everything in your head. Over time, a good system is going to show you what really matters. What moves fast, what doesn't, seasonal or shifting trends, your percentage of spend to revenue, your most profitable colour services, your cost per services, and your profit margins. That information, it changes how you make decisions. And here's what salons typically see once par levels are in place. Last minute panic order fees, they disappear. Cash flow improves because you are priced properly and you're charging correctly. Your colour outages, they stop and your waste drops. Your team save time and growth becomes predictable. I know that full shelves often feel safe and leaner shelves can look or feel a little bit risky, but it's not about having shelves full of everything. It's about having shelves full of everything you need and everything that you use. Safety doesn't come from owning everything. It comes from knowing what moves and when to reorder. Manually checking shelves can feel diligent. In reality, it adds mental load, and colour control improves when information stays consistent without relying on your memory. I hear the same concerns a lot. This sounds too complicated. If your team can use Instagram, they can use an inventory system. It's too expensive. Most systems cost less than one expensive last minute order per month. We'll lose our personal relationship with our supplier. Do you know, in practice, consistent ordering improves those relationships. You have more time to spend with your suppliers on the things that really matter, like product performance and promotions. Another common complaint is, I'll lose control. You don't lose control, you gain it. You move from reacting to deciding. Okay, the how, into implementation. Start by auditing your inventory. Count everything that's on your shelf. That can feel like opening a cupboard you've been avoiding. Your colour stock exists whether you count it or not, and avoiding the audit, it doesn't soften the impact. It just delays the visibility. Then choose your system. Set par levels based on real usage and delivery time. Train one person properly and let the system run. Review and adjust. Adjusting or changing isn't admitting failure, it's maintenance and leading. Most owners don't struggle because they don't know what to do. They struggle because starting feels harder and bigger than staying status quo does. But awareness without action doesn't change outcomes. Panic ordering, it isn't a personality trait, it's a system problem. A great par level system is how you fix it. The real question isn't whether you can afford to implement them, it's whether you can afford to keep running without them.